श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ओम मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी। श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम। 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 शरणं मम। श्रीकृष्ण 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 शरणं मम। शरणं मम। शरणं मम। शरणं मम। बोलिए राधावर श्री कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की जय। श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता 3rd chapter. We shall chant verses 19 and 20 together. तस्मादसक्तः सततं कार्यं कर्म समाचर असक्तो ह्याचरन् कर्म परमाप्नोति पूरुषः। कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम् आस्थिता जनकादयः। लोकसंग्रहमेवापि सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि। talking about any possible exceptions to this rule of anyone who need not act, who need not perform duties, who do not have any duties. Bhagavan Shri Krishna said that one who is full, satisfied, and fulfilled in himself by himself, such a one does not have any duties, no bondage. And even if somebody is free from duties, still such people are seen to be working. So therefore, neither do I belong to that category which is exempt, and nor do people who are exempt stop working. Therefore, he says, hey Arjuna, you have to work. But how should one work? Asaktaha, without any attachment, without I plus I want, and samachara, perform duties beautifully, do it well. And once someone learns this art of action, which is undertaken without any attachment, such a person is liberated, such a person attains the highest. So then the question is, are there any examples of people who have attained the highest through action? So then, sometimes to have an example, have an illustration is very, very important, an ideal, who can inspire us, who can give us that courage and confidence that if they can do, we can also do. And how gloriously they lived, we should also live like that. So that inspiration comes from some ideal. It is not merely words or some theory cannot inspire. We need some kind of example, somebody actually living this. So here Bhagavan has said, he's just given one name and said etc. Means you know many such people. What is that? So the name given is Janaka Adaya. He says, Karmana eva samsiddhim astitaha. These people attained perfection, attained the highest through action alone. And who are these? Janaka Adaya. So we all know Janak Maharaj, the father of Sita ji, king of Mithila. He was called Videha. His kingdom was also called Videha, but he himself was also called Videha. Videha means the one who had gone beyond his body consciousness. He was not attached or identified with his body. He was reveling in the highest of knowledge. That is why about Janak Maharaj, it is said that he had in both his hands yoga and bhoga in his hands. Both were available to him. And he was a very, very just and efficient king. His kingdom is briefly described in the Ramayana. Both Valmiki, Tulsi Ramayana, other Ramayanas also. His kingdom is considered to be a very, very prosperous, well-planned, and the subjects are extremely cultured, civilized, and advanced, and very, very satisfied. If all the subjects are like that, the king gets the credit because a king's governance is so good. There was no crime, there was no need of any kind of trials or anything. They were all living together. This whole kingdom was so prosperous and so happy. He was such a great leader, a statesman, and not just that, he was also a man of knowledge. He also attained the highest through his actions. He did his actions, but how? Without attachment. There's this very interesting incident. A student came to Janak Maharaj. Now Janak Maharaj wanted to test that student also. So they were having a chat. In modern terms, it was like an interview before admission. So actually that student had to come and wait for a long time, few weeks that student waited, and then he got an appointment with the king. So he was already very tired, and then he had got some bundle of some clothes and some little bit of stuff, and he left it there, and he came to the kingdom. He sat in front of the king. So the Janak Maharaj asked, okay, you tell me, what brings you here? So meanwhile, one soldier came, said, Maharaj, there is a fire in the outskirts of the city. What is your command? He said, everyone just keep doing your duties. Now I am talking to the student. The student said, really, there is fire? I hope my things are there in that room. I hope that doesn't get burnt and all. So he was worried about his clothes and all those things. So they said, okay, tell me, student, what have you learned so far? Meanwhile, another soldier came. Maharaj, what happened? The fire has come into the city. What is a command? He said, just keep doing your duties, everyone. Now please don't disturb me. I am speaking to the student. Student has entered the city and this king is so chilled. What is this? He said, okay, what have you learned? Tell me. And what do you want to learn? Tell me, why are you here? Before he could speak, another soldier, Maharaj, the fire has entered the palace. Now what to do? This student got up and said, my clothes are there in the next room. If it gets burnt, he went running. So the king called him back. Come here. He said, no, I have to go and take. He said, there is no fire. Sit down. Said, what happened? Then those people came. He said, it was your test. He said, if you can't give up the worry about one pair of clothes, how are you going to give up your attachments to the world, and how are you going to attain something higher? And Janak Maharaj was like that. He did not have any attachment to his kingdom or anything. We may say, Sita ji was very attached to. That was his sense of responsibility. Someone who is not attached, sometimes they shirk their responsibilities also. I have nothing to do. I am not attached. But here there was no attachment, yet that sense of responsibility, I have to get her married. And it is a prophecy. And I have already decided that someone who is stronger than her only should marry her. So I have to do that. It was that sense of responsibility. It was not attachment to Sita ji. Yes, he also had, he when he was bidding farewell to her along with Ramchandra ji, he also felt that I will miss Sita. But that's a normal human tendency. But he was not attached and he did not hold on to her. No, you leave her here only and you go. After a few days, I will send her there. And then every now and then you please send her here. He didn't say any such thing. He told Sita ji, he told Ramchandra ji that you take her and may she be a shadow of yours in all the good deeds that you perform. And that's it what Sita ji remembered. And so she said, I am not going to stay back in the kingdom when you are in the forest. I have to go. Why? My father has said. So this greatness of King Janaka, the example that is given, there are two aspects of the example that anybody will get inspired by. One, that person has to be well known, popular. And second, that personality has to be relatable to me. If both these aspects or even one of these aspects are not there, that example will not inspire me. It will not help me progress. Here, Janak Maharaj's example is given by Shri Krishna to Arjuna, who was a Kshatriya. So Janak Maharaj is not only popular, he was a Kshatriya king, and Arjuna himself being a Kshatriya could relate to that. Oh, if a Kshatriya king who was so great and well known, he was doing his actions and performing his duties without any attachment, then I can also do. Now, like that, there are many other kings also which have been described in our scriptures and all. So, in Bhagavad and all, we have so many stories of many such kings who were totally detached yet perform their duties very beautifully. So, now having given this example, now there may be people, after all, Arjuna is our, representative. So then he will say, you know, Janak Maharaj was so great. He did it. I am not as great as Janak Maharaj. This is a bahana for us not to do it. Sometimes we will say that you give me an example, then I can think about it. Now, example is given. Now I will say, oh, this example, this is such a great person. They can do it. In those times, it was possible. Now it is different. I am very different. I am not that great. So I can't do it. So our laziness will find such reasons also. So here Krishna Bhagavan knows very well. Even if it was not needed for Arjuna, he knew that people will be studying this in 2024. So for them, this is required. So he says in the very next line, he says, even if you don't consider this to be good enough reason to fulfill your duties without attachment, what is needed is Loka Sangrahamevapi Sampashyan Kartumarhasi. Kartumarhasi, you ought to do it. You ought to fulfill your duties. You have to do what you're supposed to do. For what? Loka sankrahamevapi sampashyan. Looking at the need for guiding the masses. A leader is one who acts responsibly so that the masses are led in the right direction. If they are going somewhere astray, the leader's responsibility is to bring them back, and that is possible only through his own right choices. If a parent or a teacher tells the child not to get angry, don't get angry. How many times have I told you? The child has learnt the lesson. Because most of us learn most of the things by seeing and not by hearing. We don't hear, we don't listen. We see and follow. Sometimes we don't read also. When we are on the road, there may be there may be signages where things are written that we don't read, but we say somebody is going. Somebody is going. I am also going. Somebody is breaking the rule. I will also break the rule. Why? Because I am seeing and following. I am not, and very few of us are leaders. So we feel that we feel that we are leaders, but actually what we do well is following. And following also like these goats and sheep who do not look forward, who just look at the tail of the person moving ahead. So just keep on moving. We don't even see here or there what is happening. So if the shepherd, if he leads one sheep, everyone just follows that only. They don't even think. Herd mentality. So if the first leadership goes and falls in a ditch, everybody has to fall. They will not stop. This is what we also. So we see and learn more than listen and learn. So if we say, we know this story also, we must have heard various versions with various names and all. There was a saint, and then this mother went with the son and said that my son eats lot of sweets. Now please advise him. So the saint says, you come after 15 days, and then says, don't eat sweet from tomorrow. The mother said, if you had to say only this much, then you could have said that 15 days ago. Said that time I was also eating. So my words would not have any weightage. But now I stopped in the last 15 days. Now I have the power to tell him, and it will have its effect. So ourselves choosing the right thing is the way of preventing others from going astray. So therefore he says, Loka Sangraham eva api. To lead people in the right direction, even for that reason, Arjuna, you have to perform your duties in the yajna spirit without any attachment. Even in this perspective. It is very interesting. We are, we on one side, we say that we are quite selfish, self-centered in our activities and our intentions and all. But when it comes to spirituality, we somehow neglect ourselves. We don't love ourselves so much. That selfishness doesn't come to us in spirituality naturally. So if we have to, we say that early in the morning I want to get up and do japa. For that I will not get up. But early in the morning, somebody is coming home, I have to welcome them, I will be up. Early in the morning, I have to catch a flight, I will be getting up. But early in the morning, get up and do japa. Oh, too cold. But some guest is coming, very sincerely I will go. If I have to receive somebody, if I have to send off somebody, for the world, I will do everything. But when it comes to spiritual choices, I leave it. It is very funny. Why do we do that? We don't know. But we seem to be more sincere towards others. That is why here Bhagavan is saying, if you don't want to do it for yourself, never mind, do it for others at least. Because your choices will influence others. So be a good influencer. So at least for others, make the right choices. Loka sangraham evapi sampashyan kartumarasi. Now, what is this Loka Sangraha and who is going to emulate me? I am not some leader or I am not some popular person and all. Nobody knows about me. And a useless fellow like me, who is going to look up to me and emulate me? Here, Bhagavan is giving a very, very important point here. He says in the 21st verse, we shall chant, please repeat. यद्यदाचरति श्रेष्ठः तत्तदेवेतरो जनः स यत्प्रमाणं कुरुते लोकस्तदनुवर्तते. He gives this in the 21st verse, a very important verse, popular also, a very, very important principle of leadership. He says, any Shrestha Purusha means an ideal, someone who is looked upon for inspiration, for emulation. Such a person, Shrestha Purusha, whatever that person chooses to do and ends up doing, everyone else also will follow that. What is a trend? Trend means what? There is one person or a small group of people who chose something and then everyone is just following that. I have these movies and all, there will be one movie where the hero has long hair. Now, every youth wants long hair. And then suddenly that same hero in the next movie is clean shaved. Every youngster wants a clean shave. What is happening? One person, and I want the same thing. Same type of clothes, same type of talking, walking, everything. Emulation happens. This is a very, very basic rule of leadership. Yadyad acharati shrestha, the ideal, however he behaves, same way. Tattad eva itaraha jana. Others also do the same. Sa yat pramanam kurute, whatever standards he establishes. Lokah tat anuvartate. People just follow that. So whatever he does becomes a standard, and that's what everyone follows. So if we understand this principle, then Loka Sangraha means I can influence people. Now the question is, I am not some influencer or anything. Nobody knows me. Nobody even looks up to me. No, nobody is there who follows me. But the point is, Puja Gurudev explains that all of us without an exception will have at least one person in the world who is looking at us and does knowingly or unknowingly something that we keep doing. We may not know about it, but there are people. It could be a small child, it could be a youth, it could be a friend. Sometimes it could be a stranger also. How many times we have seen strangers doing something and say, oh, this is a good thing. I don't know that person, but I say, this is a good thing. I also want to do that. There are people who just, something, they eat something and then that wrapper is, they just throw away on the road, just like that. And someone they see, they also are on the same shop nearby. They also bought the same thing. They also ate the same thing. And they took 5 steps ahead and threw it in the dustbin. Now, this person is seeing that. That person is unknown. And that person is thrown in the dustbin and gone away also. But this person feels, oh, I think I did the wrong thing. He picks it up and puts it. This happens. Sometimes it's just a stranger. We don't know who it is. And who is looking at us and emulating us, we don't know. And more so if we are in a position of power. More so if we are more known to people. More so if we are greater in age, knowledge, position, power, anything. If we are greater, that's where more followers are there. So we may know who is looking at us, we may not know who is looking at us, but people are following us. And we don't have any choice. We can't say, you don't follow these things, I have these weaknesses, you don't follow. I can't go and tell people. Because we don't even know who is getting influenced. Every small little act, people are observing. And they will emulate. So even if I am not sincere towards myself, okay, you don't want to do anything for yourself, but at least for the society you do better. You make the right choices because people are looking up to you. People want direction. They would follow you blindly even if you choose something wrong. They will do that. And if they do that, it is not going to be helpful. The society is going to get destroyed. So better make wise choices. So here Bhagavan is saying, whatever you do, Arjuna, and as far as Arjuna is concerned, he was a war hero. He was someone whom, this is the point which struck a chord with Arjuna even in the previous chapter. What did Bhagavan say? That those people who revere you today, what will they say knowing that you ran away from the battlefield? They will start insulting you, and such insults will be more painful than death. That's when Arjuna became, oh, what you're saying is right. I don't want that. So Bhagavan is saying that was a negative reinforcement, but here there is a positive reinforcement. Make wise choices because people are looking up to you. And in the very introduction of the Gita, Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji explains that why did Sri Krishna choose Arjuna to give the Gita? If we look at it, the eldest Pandava, that is Yudhishthira, he was Dharmaraj. He could have been chosen. He was also a very good student. Why Arjuna only? Because Arjuna is more popular and more emulated. So he said, if he has the knowledge and he chooses his actions wisely, there will be more people in the society who will follow. And therefore, it was necessary to give such a person. And that is why a person who is in an influential position must feel responsible for society. We say, no, 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 I don't want anybody to follow me. That's not a choice. Sorry. You should have thought about it before being born. Now that you're born, some people will follow you, and they in turn will be followed by others. So, which means we are creating a lot of impact on the society, even if we think we are not. There will be one small person who is looking up to us and choosing things based on our choices. This is a very, very important verse for us to remember. Our actions become benchmarks for others. Sayat pramanam kurute lokah tad anuvartate. People will just blindly follow. This person is doing this, so I can also do this. So it is a very, very important. That is why Janak Maharaj, the example he gave. Janak Maharaj would have retired to a cave and sat. He did not need anything. But he took the responsibility. He governed so beautifully, so that the entire praja knew that we have to perform our duties sincerely. Otherwise, his mind was reveling beyond all these realms. But he still governed. That was the responsibility. A saint is great, but a guru has greater responsibility. The Shishyas are going to emulate. So if we are parents, we are teachers, we are grandparents, we are siblings, friends, all these relationships, there will be people who are looking up to us and considering us as the benchmark. Very interestingly, there are also some people in the world who will keep watching when we are doing good things, but they will emulate us when we make a mistake. All they need is one mistake. They say, he did that, so I will also do that. So people keep constantly looking. They're not doing anything. They're not following anything. But one mistake, see, he did that, I can also do that. That is why so many people foolishly say that, it is okay to kill your uncle. Why? Shri Krishna did that. Mama ko maar diya. Mama ko maar sakte hain. It is allowed in the scriptures. Why? Krishna killed his uncle. Krishna killed the first Rakshasa when he was 6 days old. If you have done that, then you are allowed to do everything else that he did. We can steal. It is allowed. Why? But Krishna also did. So we don't understand what is happening. That is why these are the kind of followers we are talking about, us. So we understand very well that how responsible the leader has to be. And our followers are also going to be as foolish as us only. So we have to be at least a little wise to take responsibility of such followers and say that they are going to blindly follow. They are not going to come and ask me. They're not going to come and ask me, okay, what was your situation like? Why did you make this choice? I don't think this was a very wise choice, but you have made this choice. You may have been in a very difficult position, and that is why. Can you explain this to me? There is no scope for explanation. Media gives us publicity. Do good things and go to the media and say, please cover our work and all. Nothing. You give them money, you give again and again, please do, please, thoda to chapo, thoda to cover karo. Nothing. They will put in some 10th page, small little column, 2 lines will come. Good things are happening here. One mistake happens, or one something wrong, first page with photograph, big bold heading. This place, this thing wrong happened. So we may say, you were all the time looking at us, means, yeah, we were looking at you. Now it is not about media, it is about people are also doing the same thing. We may feel nobody is following us, but they are waiting for something convenient in us so that they can follow. So our actions have to be so responsible. And now we don't have any choice. This responsibility we will have to take. Whatever happens. No, I refuse to take this responsibility. You don't have a choice. Bhagavan is saying it will happen. Bas. No, I don't want anybody to follow me. Who asks you whether you want or not? There is no choice given to you. People are following you, will follow you. So please take responsibility and follow. Do what is right. That is why Yajna spirit. Better act. So being a role model is not easy. And why do we make mistakes? Why? What happens? Like sometimes, even if you are a role model, people expect things out of you. Now, this expectation also is a pressure for us, a cause of stress, that oh, these people are expecting, I have to stand up to expectation and all those things. But it is not just standing up to expectation, it is actually choosing the right thing. That's all. Because expectation is what? They should behave right. A leader has to be right. That's all. But we sometimes look at it as people expect this, and I am not going to just dance to the tune of people, and I am not going to just bow down to their expectation. I will do whatever I want to do. But if you do what you want to do, but do the right thing, that's all. It is not just expectation. And why are we not able to choose the right thing? Why are we not able to fulfill our duties? It is the most natural thing. If it is my duty, I have to do it. Simple. What is so complicated about it? For example, if I am a teacher, I have to teach. Is it not simple? It is a straight relation. If I am a student, I have to study. It is such a simple thing. Straightforward thing. So this straightforwardness is what we need. And that is what is very complicated in us. Because straightforward is the most complicated in our system. Somebody tells us, you go to some doctor or astrologer or somebody, somewhere, some problem, then we go to people. So we go to somebody and then they say, you go and do Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, you'll be fine. What Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram? इससे क्या होता है? Nothing, no faith. Okay, then I go to another person. That person already knows that person has advised Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, but he don't have faith. So this person now knows what to do with such a person. They say, do one thing. Get up in the morning at 4 o'clock. Tell me, I'm listening. 4 o'clock, then take bath in cold water. Cold water? Yes. You want to get out of the problem? Yes. Okay, cold water. Okay, then after that, put some bhasma on your forehead. Okay, bhasma on forehead. Okay, then sit facing the eastern direction. Okay, eastern. Then and sit straight with your back straight. And okay, then say Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram. You have to say that for 1 hour. Oh, okay. Then the problem will be solved. Now you are a better person. That person, what foolish person? He just said Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, go and do. What is going to happen? You are the right person. So we want complicated things, straightforward things we don't like. But here this is such a straightforward thing. Bhagavan is saying, do your duty, dedicated to something higher. That's about it. What more? That is very difficult, Yajna spirit and all. So, okay, you are not sincere to yourself, at least be sincere to the society, take their responsibility and make the right choices and do the right thing. Um, okay, but then I can't do all the time. Why can't you do all the time? Because our old habits. That is the main obstacle. Our habits are the main obstacle. We have been used to doing some things, which is in other words called as comfort zone. Our comfort zone, this complacency, this is what doesn't allow us to live a straightforward, simple life of fulfilling our duties. That's all. But these habits, which in Vedanta is called the vasanas, the impressions that I'm carrying from the past lives, all my past choices have created an impression in my personality. And those impressions are pushing me towards repeating those choices. And therefore, I am not able to choose the right thing. So, this is my problem. Otherwise, actually, what Bhagavan is asking is not complicated. Bhagavan is not saying too many things. He is just saying, you are what you are, you know what your duties are, just fulfill them with the attitude of dedication. That's about it. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to do anything extra also. Whatever your duties are, only those you have to do. Nothing new. No new action, no special action. Whatever karma you are doing, make it into karma yoga. That's all. And what is karma to karma yoga transition? Choose kartavya karma with Ishwar Arpan Buddhi, Prasada Buddhi. That is called karma yoga. Simple. So all that is required is just do in the right spirit. That's all. But difficult. So now Bhagavan feels, Arjuna, you are a leader and you're not taking up responsibility. Now, how do I inspire someone? I have given an example of someone as great as Janaka. Still, he is not feeling that inspired. What should I do? So Bhagavan feels I have to give an example which is right in front of him, right here. So now, what better example than Sri Krishna himself? So in the next verse, next 2-3 verses, Sri Krishna is talking about his own case. And he's saying, verse 22, न मे पार्थास्ति कर्तव्यम् त्रिषु लोकेषु किञ्चन नानवाप्तमवाप्तव्यम् वर्त एव च कर्मणि. He's saying, hey Partha, hey Arjuna, me kartavyam na asti. I don't have any duties. He's talking about himself. One thing we have to understand, we have seen this before also, when Sri Krishna is talking in this Bhagavad Gita specifically, in the Mahabharata, his other names are used. Some place it is said Sri Vasudeva Uvacha, Sri Krishna Uvacha, all those things are there, other place. In Bhagavad Gita, when he is speaking, it is said Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. So he is not talking as the blue boy of Vrindavan. He is not talking as the king of Dwaraka. He is not talking as that specific manifestation and avatar of the Supreme. He is talking as the Supreme. So therefore here he is saying, O Arjuna, I do not have any duties. Why? He earlier said in the 17th verse, he described those people who do not have any duties. What did he say? Yastvat maratireva syat atmatriptascha manavah atmanyeva cha santushtah tasya karyam na vidyate. Such a person doesn't have any duty, who is full and fulfilled within himself. So Bhagavan says, I am that. I don't have any duties. Why don't you have any duties? He says, Na anavaptam avaptavyam. There is nothing in this world that is not attained and to be attained for me. There is nothing unattained yet to be attained for me. There is nothing to attain, therefore, there is no duty. There are, let us say, in a school, there are rules to be followed by the students. Till when? Till the time they have to go there and study. Once they have passed out, then will those rules of the school apply to this person? Because now they don't have anything to attain from there. So they passed out now. Now they may still want to attain knowledge, but not from that school. Now over. So now those rules do not apply. Similarly, he says there is nothing at all for me that has been not attained and I have to attain. There's nothing like that. This gives us an understanding that duties bind us till we have something to gain. So that is why in Sanskrit it is said, Yavat praptavyam asti, tavat kartavyam asti. Till such time I have something to attain, so long only I have duties. So the moment I have nothing to attain, I have no duties. In every scenario, it is the same thing. And here he is saying, Trishu lokeshu kinchana. Trishu lokeshu. In all the three worlds, there is nothing I have that needs to be attained. Therefore, I have no duties whatsoever. Nothing can bind me. The one who has known his own real self, such a person doesn't need to get anything more. Knowing ourselves is the culmination of all knowledge, all attainment. Beyond that, there is nothing more to be known. And one who has attained that, for such person, there is no bondage of any duty. There is nothing that they need to do. No must in their life. And such a person, he's saying, example, Arjuna, I am giving my own example. Because Janak Maharaj, you may say, oh, that time. Now this time, standing in front of you. I have no kartavya. Still, what are you seeing? Varte evacha karmani. I always am engaged in action. I'm constantly engaged in action. I don't need to be here. I am free. I'm not bound. Why am I here? Why am I driving your chariot? You asked me, you requested me to be with you. But I chose to drive your chariot. Why? I can leave it. Because there is no, you don't have a bond with me. And nothing can bind me. When he went as the peace messenger to Hastinapur, that time Duryodhan wanted to bind him. Wanted to arrest Sri Krishna. Then he showed his cosmic form and said, don't even think about it. Because nothing can bind me. Not even duties. I have no duties. Still, I am constantly acting. Have we ever found Sri Krishna anywhere in any literature, any place, any scripture that Sri Krishna was lazy? He said that I will do this after 5 minutes. Hmm. He was woken up and then he said, no, no, I don't want to get up so early. I will get up after half an hour. He snoozed the alarm. Anything like that, have we? No? His laziness, his inertia, his complacency. Never. He was the one who initiated everything, energized everyone, encouraged everyone to act. He was that leader. Anytime Sri Krishna, okay, Sri Krishna's life, were there difficulties? Oh, born in a jail, huh? Starting from birth itself, difficulties. Such a newborn baby had to go in the rains across this flooding Yamuna to some other home, left his parents right after birth. Of course, those set of parents were also very loving. That's a different thing. But your parents are left. And then there, was he peaceful? No. Every day was some new incident. Today, who came to kill? Everyday problems. Sometimes, okay, let us go and play a game. They can't play a game also. There's some Asura is sitting there like a cave. Everybody goes in, now Krishna has to save them. Every day. One day Brahmaji put all the boys and cows inside the cave, closed them, and let me see now what he can do. So he photocopied himself. He became all those. For 1 year, it is said that he became all these calves and children. And the cows and the mothers, they all felt that now I don't know, so much more love is coming towards this child. Still, yesterday I was not loving him so much. What happened? No, he had to do all these things. Everywhere, any little problem, these boys used to say, oh, Krishna, save us, every little thing. There were floods, Krishna, save us. Famine, Krishna, save us. Some snake came, Krishna, save us. Some bird came, Krishna, save us. Donkey came, Krishna, save us. Everywhere. How much problem? Then suddenly, when everybody was loving him so much, at that time, suddenly, oh, go. Your uncle is calling. Achha, uncle is calling. No, uncle is calling, such a nice thing, Why is he calling? To kill you. Huh? Uncle is inviting you to come and get killed. Such invitation. Went there. And that Mathura also now was very eventful. That all he finished. After that went to Dwaraka. There he was peaceful. First of all, he had to set up that whole place. And after setting up, then people from different places, war, this, yes, Kalyavan and all came. No, he kept on fighting. He said, now what is this fighting? How much time I will waste my time? He ran away from the battlefield only. And that running also was to bless another king who was sleeping in a cave. Now, all that he had to handle, so much of problem. Okay, after all that was over, okay, after that was that peaceful. Then there was another Paundraka who was jealous of Krishna. He started issuing notices everywhere, circulars. I am the real Vasudev. That is a fake one. Now again, that also he had to deal with everything constantly. But in spite of this life full of so many problems, have we ever found anywhere any photo, even an imaginary photo of Sri Krishna frowning or crying? Always smiling. Amidst all these problems, ever smiling. This is what, and when we say, Krishna, in spite of all these problems, he kept smiling, that is the inspiration that we have got, that we also can do that. We also can keep smiling in spite of all problems. And that smile was not out of ignorance and not out of carelessness. It was handling everything, managing everything, yet with a brilliant smile on the face. Anywhere we've heard Sri Krishna was under a lot of stress, and then he looked here, he looked there, then he went, nothing. Even on Kalya, five-hooded snake in water, on top of that, even to balance and stand is difficult. And here is someone who is not only dancing but also playing on the flute along with dance. Ah! And with one hand holding the tail of that Kalia also, and with a smile on the face. This Sharat Chandra Nibhananam. His face is as beautiful as the full moon of autumn. That kind of, that prasannata. If we have to stand on something wobbly, we can't. And somebody says, "Okay, I'm clicking a picture. Wait, no. Let me balance myself." Here, he was dancing away, smiling. So, this is said, I have no kartavya, but I am doing all these things. I didn't have to do anything. And we say, no, he had all these magical powers and all, he was God and all these things. Yes, of course. But how much magical power did he use? If we think about it. In Mahabharata, in this context, he could have used his magic, no? What magic? He could have loudly told also. Bhishma, Drona, both of you come this side. You think they would not have followed? It was Bhagwan's command. Why would not both of them were devotees? They come this side. Came. Over, problem solved. All that whole Duryodhan and party would have run away from there. Because these were the two people because of whom they were also standing. Oh, we will fight, we will fight. Nothing. These two will come this side. Over. Game over. He could have done that. Or he could have changed the mind of Duryodhan only. And Duryodhan suddenly, respectfully comes with a Purna Kumbha. Hey, Yudhishthir, Bhrata Shri, please come and rule the kingdom. We will all serve you. He could not have changed over. If we are talking about magic, this is magic. But did he do any of this? No. Why? He wanted to show us that in a situation, what is my duty? I have to fulfill that. And he said, I am free, yet I am doing and conforming to the standards of the world. Why can't you do, Arjuna? So if a man of realization is acting as per the scriptures, then I have to do it all the more. Because a man of realization does not need to act as per the scriptures. Still he is doing so. Then I need to act. So it is all the more important. And Bhagavan doesn't stop here. He goes further to say what will happen if he does not act. So that we will see tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.